Now, welcome to Time Out with the Youth, a production of BHF Foundation. Today, we'll be looking at one of the consequences of bad relationship or bad friends. My name is David Elo. We've been talking about friendship, that the extent to which you go in life is a function of the friends that you have. You cannot be great moving with friends who are not moving in the same direction with you or who don't aspire to be great. Whatever you will become is a function of the friends you keep. I've been saying that for about 2 episodes now. And the reason why I say that is because the extent to which a house will go is a function of the foundation. The foundation for a 10-story building is not the same foundation for just maybe a bungalow. And so the foundation is very, very important. There's a common saying that if the foundation be destroyed, what can you do about it? There's nothing. So you must lay a good foundation first by your friends. Those who have gone up have good friends. I mean, there's a common saying which I always say, that it is better to be the least among the successful than to be the head of failures. So you must begin to assess your relationship. You must begin to assess your friends. I think we've said that enough. But today we want to look at one of the consequences of bad friends, especially for those who are in school and the teenagers and the young adults. One of the consequences of bad friends is what we want to look at today, and that is the dangers of secret cult. And please, I want you to understand this, that all secret cults are satanic organizations, they're evil organizations. And so you must be very, very careful. There are many people today who are dead because they find themselves in one form of cult or the other. Now, before we proceed, I want you to understand that there's a difference between, there's difference between secret cults, which we know as those on campus and even those outside campus, and occultic organizations. There are occultic organizations, there are also secret cults. The two of them are the same. The two of them are evil. They are not the same. One of them has to do with diabolical activities, while the rest is just some young men who get themselves involved with wrong group of people, and they get attached to evil, violence, crime, killing. And so what we want to look at today is dangers of secret cult. If you are about to enter the school, higher institution, or you are already in a higher institution, I want you to be very careful. Careful of the people you move with so they don't drag you or get you involved in secret cult. There are many people today who will have been alive, who will have been graduates and working, probably with their wives and number of children, but they are dead. I know quite a number of people who are dead today because they got themselves involved in secret cults. Let me say it again and again and again, that secret cults are evil association. There is no benefit in it. Don't allow anybody drag you into cult activities or drag you into secret cults. And as I've always said, your relationship, your friends you keep is what determines at the end of the day the kind of life that you live. I'm from a good home. I'm from a good parents. My father was a nice person. Doesn't want anything to do with trouble. He doesn't like it. He's not violent. He's a very peaceful man. But you see, I got involved in cult when I was in school because I was introduced to secret cult by my friends. And I became an extremely violent member of secret cult. Extremely violent. Because of the friends that I keep. I didn't learn it from home. That's why there's this really popular saying that evil communication corrupts good manners. The elders used to say, show me your friends and I will tell you who you are. So I got involved because I moved out with friends who are involved in cult, who were cultists. I got myself involved. And along the way, we've lost a lot of friends. A lot of friends were killed because they were involved in cult. Because we were all involved in it together. And I was extremely lucky to be spared. I'm extremely lucky to be alive today. That's why I'm speaking to the youth. That's why I say time out with the youth. Don't do everything possible to avoid them. For example, you're a student. You just get admission to the higher institution. It's supposed to be a 4 years course or a 5 years course. Being a member of a secret cult has had no value to your time in school. Absolutely no value. If I'd been a member of secret cult on campus, we distract your attention from being focused on your studies. On your studies. It doesn't assist your studies. It doesn't help you in every way. So you have no business in being part of it. There is no gain by getting yourself involved. Instead, you've made yourself a target to either be killed, injured, or maimed. There are three basic functions of secret court activities: to kill, to destroy, and to steal. We have seen again and again and again that these things are prevalent. In my own time, we have very little court activities outside campus. The court activities were centered on campus. And in most cases, you will not be initiated except you are an undergraduate. But unfortunately now, we have them on the streets. I remember some years ago, a pastor called me and said, "Please, Dave, I want you to come to our parish and talk to some of our youths in various zones." So because each of these zones, they have secret court attached to them. And so there was a crisis between each of the zones in the same parish, where the court that belongs to parish A or zone A is trying to fight the ones that are in zone B. It was terrible, terrible. The same church, the same province, different zones, different court groups. That's how depreciating our life has been. And you must understand that the youth we have today, they are the leaders of tomorrow. And so getting yourself involved in violent activities, like I said, it has no value. Instead, it prepared you for a bad future. There's also a common saying that those that live by the sword will die by the sword. You shed blood, you kill, you destroy, it has consequences. A young man came to see me some time ago. He's a lawyer, he has wife and children. He stays somewhere in the outskirts of Lagos. And the reason why he came to see me was because at times he began to act insane. At times he begins to act insane, maybe for 4 hours, 5 hours. He'll be acting insane before he begin to come back to normal. Because he was a cultist. And he has shed so much blood. And it's beginning to affect him now, even when he's married. When he's supposed to be settling down, the blood of those that he has shed was beginning to affect him. I looked at him and I had pity on him. Some years ago, about 2-3 years to be precise, I was called by a women group somewhere around the Kuonjo area. And they told me to come and meet a young man who just ran into the women's fellowship and was crying and telling them that he needs help. And later they found out that he was a cultist, but he didn't talk much. So the women, they called me and asked me to send somebody down from the youth center, but I decided to go on my own. I drove down to meet them there, and I met this young man. I talked with him. I discovered that he was finding it difficult to open up. But fortunately, he happens to belong to the same cult I used to be. And so when he knew very well that I used to be an escort artist, he opened up. And he told me a lot of things. He's from River State. Now, this young man has killed his mother. In fact, him and his senior brother used their mother for rituals. That's what they did. And at the end of the day, they started making some money here and there. And not quite long, the senior brother died. There's always consequence for evil. It might take time, but the wicked will never go unpunished. I want you to understand. I'm talking from experience because I know what I'm talking about. I've seen too many people that are dead. And so one of the consequences I want to warn the youth now is to desist from it. There is no benefit in it. So he told me how he killed his mother, how he lured his mother, and the mother loved him so much. In fact, the charm they used to kill the mother was prepared and placed in an handkerchief. And immediately the woman used the handkerchief to wipe her face. Not quite long, she begins to depreciate. She was getting slim and slim and slim until she died. The guy was about 23 years old. He's in 300 levels, University of Lagos. And he told me a lot of things. I just asked that God should have mercy on him because what he did was bloody. There are many things to learn when you get involved in these things. That's why I made up my mind to say, look, I'm going to warn those that are involved. There is nothing. There is absolutely no benefit. Some of us that have been involved for years and we are now out, we are telling you that there is no benefit. It's evil. It has a way of destroying your tomorrow. You will think you are having fun now, but I can guarantee you, I will tell you how you will end. It's just a matter of time. Because it's the same pattern from generation to generation. There are people who have lost their lives just because of a girl, because they're involved in court. I remember when we had a court war Some couple of years ago at Auchi Polytechnic, I had my very good friend had the opportunity to leave just the way we left. But unfortunately, he couldn't because of his girlfriend. In fact, the crisis started because of his girlfriend. Girls are always responsible for the crisis you have on campus. And it's a very funny world we are living in. This guy stayed behind because he wanted to defend his girlfriend. Unfortunately, he was killed. He died. And as I'm telling you right now, the girl is married, happily married with children in Lagos. I'm married to one of the friends of this guy that is now dead. So you will end up becoming a fool. You will end up becoming a fool. I remember what my friend's mother told us. She said the cowards will live to point to the grave of the heroes. You think you are a superstar, but at the end of the day, you are digging your own grave. And that's why I said, please don't get yourself involved. It doesn't matter what they tell you. It doesn't matter what they try to tell you. There's no single benefit in it. If you are going to school, study. Ensure that you put your focus on your studies because it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. 4 years or 5 years or 6 years will elapse and you begin to face your future. You begin to face your future. Most of our friends that are dead or that were killed during court activities, today they are dead. They've forgotten about them, their history. They have gone. And you ask yourself, what did they die for? They died for a foolish cause. I know a guy whose father is a diplomat. He was in Ekpoma then, final year. The day he wrote his last paper, his very last paper, the son of a diplomat. In fact, the father bought a house for him in the US. He's the only son. He has a house in the US already. The only thing needed was for him to just write his last paper. He's my good friend. It's not as if I was told. It's somebody I know very well. He comes to see us in school. The day he wrote his last paper, that was the day they traced him to his house in Ekpoma. They twisted his neck. And opposing court members, they twisted his neck and he died. The only son of a diplomat. As at when he died, the mother was already over 60. As at when he died, the father was already an elderly man. Everything he worked for his son. All what it is, the only child. It's not as if he's the only son, the only child. And he had money. And you ask yourself, what benefit did he derive from it? That's why today we want to say again, there are many, many, many situations like that. You can tell the number of people that were killed in the University of Benin, number of people that were killed in Unilag, number of people that were killed in Abraka, killed in Lasso, killed in Auchi Polytechnic, killed in Abrusali University, killed in Unical, killed in different polytechnics and different universities. These groups are satanic groups. That's why if you are involved in it, come out. Some people have asked, is it possible to come out from Sacred Court? Yes, it's possible. If you want to come out, you can come out. I was once involved in it and I'm out to return no more. And that's why I'm here to warn you that your life is more important. You are created for a purpose. You are created to serve a purpose. God himself sees a need and he created you to solve that need. You are to meet the need. There are things you are supposed to do. You are supposed to leave a legacy for the next generation. You are supposed to make a name in line with what you are called to do. And being a member of any of these cult adds no value at all. Instead, you are preparing yourself for destruction. And like I said, too many people have gone. Please don't join them. Too many people have gone. I remember my friend's mother said something when we were in school those days. He told his son to be very careful and warned him against his involvement in court. The mother made a statement. He told two of us, he said, the coward will live to point to the grave of the heroes. Not less than 2 months later, his son wanted to be a hero and his son was killed. So please, it's important. We are going to expatiate more on it, getting yourself involved in initiation and this and this and this. But now, I just want to start this week by saying it is wrong. Don't get yourself involved. It is evil. Don't get yourself involved. There's nothing you benefit from it. Don't get yourself involved. Focus on your studies. Focus on your studies. Your life is very, very important. to God. God wants you, people are expecting, your family they are expecting that you become something in life. And in conclusion, I want to say it again, as we're just trying to scratch the surface. But next we will keep getting deeper, deeper, and deeper. Begin to explain how to get out of it and the kind of things they see before they get initiated on campus and how to avoid them. And remember, I've said, you are in school to study. If you are not in school, you are outside getting yourself doing one thing or the other. You learn work, you learn trade to make yourself more better, to better your destiny. As we round up, I will round up with this. All secret cults are evil organizations. Refuse to be initiated. It has no value to your life. Thank you very much. Until we meet again next week, stay blessed.